share, like, subscribe. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. But let this information get out that there is NINAS, there is LNC. These things are here. These proposals, these strategies are here for our self-determination. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sister, for that introduction. I mean, do we have any other choice? We are here. We keep saying that we are like mothers that have a bunch of knuckleheads, that you have to keep knocking on that their big head until they begin to understand what you're saying. And eventually they will. So we are consistent and we are persistent and we are going to be in your face and in your ears and in your household until we start marching in the right direction. So as our topic says today, a new way of thinking. We have our promo out there, so you must have seen it. So I will read off of our promo as usual. Wherefore, seeing we are all surrounded by so great a cloud of wickedness and evil, let us lay aside our old ways of thinking to embrace this new way that ensures equality and respect for all the indigenous nationalities, whether they are big or small. No one can intimidate, marginalize, or enslave a well-informed and wise individuals. We know that in the past, even currently, that our enemies have exploited our lack of wisdom for years. But today, we have a new plan, we have a new dawn. We have an intelligent team called NINAS, Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, asking all aggrieved people of Nigeria to the table of dialogue, which you guys have never had that opportunity before, to dialogue and discuss. So as the debate continues on how best to manage everyone's grievances, those who understand that all activities of any nation stem from the document that governs them is called Constitution. We have now agreed, even though they would throw in when they're talking about something else, they will say, we know 1999 Constitution is a problem, but it's not the other guy playing games with the source of breakage, jail breakage that we have on the table. So we can now look at the mass impoverishment, gross insecurity, the general hopelessness that we all see around us, typically in Anambra today as we speak. You can see, you can't tell the difference between there and Somalia nowadays. So today we are going to look at self-determination for each autonomous indigenous ethnic nationality. And also we're going to offer the assurance that we, the daughters of the land, the mothers of the land, will make sure that no ethnic nationality can be marginalized under the NINA's proposal. We are in this together. We want Africa to flourish, not just our geographical space. We want people to do well. God has put down enough resources in this universe for us to live well. There's some people will hijack it while our people are dying. They want to talk about climate change and be sleeping in the meeting, claiming they are there for climate change. They will take 80-something entourage of car, one person, to go to the climate change conference. 80-something, one person driving 80-something cars, talking about climate change, playing with our minds, playing with our intellect, making it sound like we don't know what is going on. And we're asking good men and women to start questioning all these activities that we see around us. One of our brothers in diaspora did a very good job, even though he was all over the place, but he has a message. And I know some of you may have seen this message, so we're going to play it again for those that have not had the opportunity to take a look, so that you can see that our people are getting it. They want us to live in their lands and be working as slaves. You will never get what you want. We kept saying in this show, for you to get a job that they will get with a high school degree, they will force you to go and incur loans.
Congo crisis, in a nutshell.
They will.
Since 1996,
oh my goodness,
over 6 million people have died.
Sorry guys, my my finger hit a button. So they will force us to go to school and accumulate loans, only to get a job that their citizen can get it with a high school degree. So we know the games they are playing. They don't want us to develop our land. They are busy making it difficult for us to exist in that land so we can continue to give testimonies about how we are leaving our forefathers, where our umbilical cords are buried. We are leaving it to go and serve another master. Does that even make sense? When we know that we are capable, we're in the same offices with them, we know they are not smarter than us. So why are we under their leadership? Why are we subjugated inside all this mess that they're doing when we know? Does that even make sense? So let me pull up this video as we are talking. So
yes, my sister, it's so terrible, you know, what is going on. Our brother did a great job. Like,
me, I'm ready because this nonsense must have to stop. Why is our government so wicked? I can't get it. Why is our government so wicked? You people are trying to advance people by force, but you are not telling the bandit to stop killing these people. What is the offense of the Igbo now? What have they done? What have they done? Why will our government prefer cow more than human being? And you are there, you are a billionaire. Now God has to punish you and your children. Useless set of people. Let every one of you stand up and talk. Do a video about this bullshit. You can't do it. Coward. You are also in work right now doing 18 hours. Your sexual land will be taken from you. You can't talk. You are there in the UK. Buhari will still come. Boris Johnson and God has to punish you, the Prime Minister of UK. Let me mention you by your name. Clone set of people. Animalistic set of human beings. Why will you be moving with a terrorist government? How many people is bandit killing in the UK? How many people is bandit killing in the UK? In this EU, tell me any country among the EU, about 27 countries, how many that have terrorism?
I know.
The volcano eruption that happened in Las Palmas, the Prime Minister, the President of Spain have gone there 3 times under 30 days. But here we are, somebody, a president will command the military to be killing some certain tribe. You don't know that we are already passing through war. And no go ahead. You are there, it's all about your money. That's how they do. Look at all our freedom fighters. If you talk, they will apprehend you. The same way these animal kingdom, same people are coming. But you don't feel, you think it is the freedom fighters they are looking for because they want you to die in pain and in suffering. That's why they are doing what they are doing. They want you to die in pain and in suffering. You think they love you? Now, why are they so concerned about climate change? During the time of Moses, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, even Jesus Christ of Nazareth, how many times climate change? How many times did climate change during the time of God? These people, they will spoil everything. They start using you. You are keen to their, you are keen to their useless ideology. Why will any European countries, the way they have evidential value for humanity, why are they not considering Nigeria as a giant of Africa? Because they pay the European Union, they pay the EU, they pay the UN, they pay them money for them to be killing us. That's why anytime they want to call the international court to una death, now God will punish all of you.
I'm Nick Nimmin, and I'm a StreamYard.
All right, so I'm going to stop that video. I know some of you have seen it. We'll post that video in its entirety on our page, so you can watch and see what our brother said. He was almost a 15 minutes video. He said a lot. And these are the same group of people that are pretending to be governing us. Like he said, the weather has been changing. We know the time of even Noah, when they use water to destroy the world and all kind of stuff. And they will play games, make money for their families, tell us that they're doing this for climate change, amass all kinds of wealth, and then leave us in destitute. So as we're doing all of these things, the generational gap is increasing in terms of financial resources. They will use it and give contracts with their friends and all kinds of stuff and leave people in abject poverty. So you're worried about climate change, but you're not worried about people dying. Does that even make sense? Does that even make sense? So it's a new way of thinking. We need to begin to match these animals because that's who they are, bumper to bumper, eyeball to eyeball. We are no longer going to sit around and be listening to their fake news. Rumor-mongering news, fear-mongering news, giving us news as if we don't have any brain and we're sitting there. There's some people, when you go to their house, CNN on 24 hours a day. The CNN will never report what's going on in our land. CNN will never report all the evil that they're committing in our land. The same country that is telling us about climate change, they will turn around and give our looters money to come in and invest their resources here in their land and pack our money in their bank. Then we turn around and no, something gotta change. We have to develop a new way of thinking. to win our enemy. We must. There is no two ways about it. I am trying to, Sister Ukwi, are you there? Let me find this video.
Yes, I can hear you, because our people really need to begin to understand what the issues are. We cannot continue to fight ourselves, because that's the expectation of the enemy. So a new way of thinking, you need to respect your fellow human being around you. And also you need to be observant. Stop being nonchalant. Oh, you don't know, you don't want to know. No. We can't do that anymore. We can't afford to do that anymore. Are you saying the video, is it coming up yet?
Yes.
So we're asking questions. A new way of reasoning, of thinking. Part of it is you begin to ask questions. See something, say something. If you notice something that is not going right, even if it's your neighbor's child that is crying, as Africans, you will not touch that child and not say, what is happening to you, my dear? If it's hunger, you take care of it. If it's, oh, my mother is not back from market, you know what to do. We have technology now, so we can do greater things. So watch this and see what is happening in Congo and begin to think. Compare it to what is happening in your land. As an indigenous person, Isoko, Ishekiri, Ijo, Yoruba, Igbo, Efik. Watch this video and compare what is happening in this video with what is happening in your land right now. Please go ahead.
Congo crisis in a nutshell. Since 1996, over 6 million people have died in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, so that we in the Western world can benefit from its resources. Congo is extremely rich in gold, diamonds, copper, cobalt, tin, uranium, coltan, and many other precious minerals. Congo has 64% of the Earth's coltan, a precious mineral that is needed for our modern electronics like iPhones, iPads, computers, laptops, PlayStations, Xboxes, Nintendos, jet engines, inkjet printers, and the list goes on and on. In 1946, the Strategic Minerals Stockpiling Act was passed to obtain and stockpile cobalt. With the largest reserves of cobalt on the planet, Congo was targeted. Cobalt is a strategic and critical mineral that is essential for our aerospace, military, and defense industries. As the United States and the United Kingdom provide financial aid and military aid to countries such as Rwanda and Uganda, these neighboring countries plunder Congo's natural resources as the death toll rises. In 4 studies, the United Nations implicated multinational companies in sourcing coltan from Congo, stating that these companies serve as the engine of the conflict in the DRC. As the world benefits from Congo's riches, Congolese men, women, and children continue to be raped, tortured, starved, displaced, and killed. In 2010, a leaked United Nations report cited crimes of genocide may have been committed by the Rwandan troops.
Not me.
There is very little media coverage on what is actually happening in Congo. When Congo is covered by the media, it is often about rebel groups committing mass atrocities.
Yep.
What these reports do not cover are the funding, training, and the arming of these rebel groups by foreign governments. Nothing is ever mentioned about the Western-backed coups, wars, assassinations, or the involvement of foreign corporations in the looting of Congo. 48 women are raped every hour. Millions are displaced. Over 6 million dead. Half are children under the age of 5. What is happening in Congo is a silent Holocaust.
Don't you love these people? They will turn on themselves.
They never heard all these things. That's the unbelievable thing. Even some classes I did here, they will tell you what happened in Sudan. The articles they will give you to read and preview. They will tell you the things that happened in Sudan, how it happened. There's one I was there discussing with them. I read it. Everybody were discussing. And they were preferring solution. Oh, why not educate your people? Why not tell your people about all those things? Because I won't keep quiet too. You understand? These things are not hidden. It's just our lack of reading. Now people will say, I can't read. But the things that is tying you is written down. If you cannot read, how do you get the information to know what they did? Because if you don't know what they did, you will not know the solution. And even when the solution is looking at you, you'll be there bickering. You'll be there talking nonsense that does not matter.
Trying to start war that you can fight.
Exactly, because you don't know what the problem is and you don't know the size of the problem. You will need to know the problem, know the size of the problems before you understand what the solution is. So that when somebody says this is the solution, you will not go and start saying, oh, where is the old map? Where is the new map? Now we're saying from this video, is it possible that the Fulanis are being used to sack communities because these communities are sitting on solid minerals?
Of course.
You see, this platform is where we make you to think critically. As we talk, we want you to think along with us. Because if you think, you will know what to do, what to say. You will know who to talk to. Them. People say, oh, let's write script and go and talk to pastors. You don't need to wait for Doctors of Truth to write script for you. We are here educating you for you to do the needful. Use your brain. That's the reason why you have brain. It's not for Ninas to do the job for you. Ninas is a movement bringing all of us together and explaining what the problem is, what the issues are, and then providing solution for all of us to work on it. Not for you to suggest, I think Nina should go to my village. I think Nina should come. Please, please.
Need to know Mona, right?
Those are old ways of thinking. We have a new way of thinking on the table. So we're saying, is it possible like 2 criminal gangs are in our land? The Fulanis want to grab our land for ethno-religious reasons. Why their foreign partners want the land for solid minerals and the resources in them.
Yep.
They're killing in Northeast, they're killing in Northwest, they're killing in Middle West, in Middle Belt. Please check and see those communities being sacked. They are sitting on enormous wealth. And some people want them dead, displaced into internal display in the camps, while they take over the land. But meanwhile, you will see Fulanis sitting on them. And because Fulanis don't even care, they'll be there talking whatever they're doing with their cows, while the main people will start exploiting the land. But we are asking ourselves the question, how did we get here? It took 250 years of being nonchalant, not being observant, not being thoughtful for us to get here where we are now.
Yep.
And this is for all the African countries, not just Nigeria.
As the
Because
land
what
is
is happening
running.
in Nigeria is happening
Yeah,
in Congo, it's happening in Sudan, it's happening in Cameroon, it's happening everywhere because Africa is endowed with resources. But before the enemy can come in to do what the enemy is doing, it took us not being careful, not being observant, not being like thoughtful. The more you see, the more you look, the less you see. Because your brain is not working with your eyes. There's no proper coordination between your eyes and your brain. And something is happening to your brain, making it suppressed. Why are we allowing injustice? For years, we allowed injustice in our land. Lack of fairness and equity. Not defending the weak and the poor in our land. I'm trying to tell us, lead us into how we got to where we are. Because before the enemy can get you down, you yourself, you have brought yourself down.
Absolutely.
The enemy will not jump into the house of a strong, well-coordinated man and start killing people. Something happened and weakened us. Certain abominations came in our midst and made us weak before our enemies. So if we must be strong, we will begin to remove those abominations.
And there are plenty.
There are plenty in your family, in your community, in your village, in your town, in your state, in your nation. One, taking advantage of the weak and vulnerable. And most of them, they are women and children. You sleep with 5 women, get all of them pregnant, and give them abortion pill, and they abort all the children. You're killing the children, unborn babies. That's what you're doing. You're taking advantage of the weak and the vulnerable. And then when you are done, you go to the village to look for innocent girl to marry. The ones that you useless, those ones belong to somebody else. And then when you finish, you expect this your beautiful innocent girl that you just brought to start giving birth to children. And you will continue even at 60. You want to move on with a 20-year-old girl that doesn't know all the atrocities because she can't challenge you. You leave all the old women, all the dead women that you have done all the evil with. You go and carry somebody's child that is 16. You want to marry. Then you're even married, though. You have children. You carry your age mates. You're looking for boyfriend and girlfriend. We're talking about abominations, transgressions, atrocities, things that were strange in our land before. These are the things that made our land porous and made us weak before our enemy. Am I talking about mothers, women? Now, these men will sleep with you for onions, suya, cheap things. We weakened our land by ourselves. That's what we're saying. And we're not here to point fingers. It's so that when we say it, we will begin to make amends. It's important for us to make amends because we can see how flat we have fallen. The Fulanis are not too powerful. They're not more intelligent. How is it that we that are so educated, traveled all over the world, so powerful, doing great things everywhere? How is it that we are falling so low for these people? What is going on? And you know there are consequences for this our fall. Consequences. We have been conquered. It's good for us to tell ourselves the truth so that we'll begin to think on how to come out. We have been conquered. And there are things causing distress in our land. These things need instant attention. We are not going to wait till 2023 to correct these things. The leadership failure that we are seeing in our land have consequences.
Dire consequences.
Look at food shortage. Because of the leadership failure, Fulanis came in, killing everyone. Because if you don't have leadership failure, your borders will not be porous, and people will be pouring in terrorists from everywhere. Something made our land porous. There is a failure. We must own up to it. As a result, those people came killing and sacking communities. These are communities that were farmers. So they will farm. That is why you have food shortage. One piece of yam, tuber of yam is now how much? I don't know. You tell me. A bunch of banana is how much? Compare it with what it was 2015. Vegetables. Check. These things we are telling you are the practical things that you will see in your midst. What is going on? Your farmers are being killed and sacked. So
and it's part of their strategy, by the way.
It's part of the strategy. There will be severe food shortage. And that means there will be hunger in the land. There will be criminality. And as a result of the hardship, people will start abusing alcohol and drugs. Amphetamine. So as you do that, those people are now becoming criminals as well. So if you're talking to them, they're not listening. They want to kill you. That's why you're hearing the death in the land. Somebody wants to kill the mother, cut off the throat, cut off the These things are in chain. It's part of the strategy. We told you that they are using multi-dimensional strategy.
Yep.
They will get you to kill yourselves. But they'll be watching. The vultures will be standing waiting. When you are dead, they will come to consume you. So these things we're seeing it.
Interrelated, yes.
They're interrelated, like domino effect, one thing leading to the other. The intolerable living condition you're having, then the terrorists in your land, ISIS in your land, kidnapping in your land, communities being sacked. These are consequences of leadership failure. Ask yourself, what's the essence of making us to have 36 states and 774 local governments? It's divide and conquer. As they divide you, the pattern they use to divide us is, I give you an example, like the Igbo nation. The Igbo nation is supposed to be a big nation of maybe 20 million people. They cut us into 5 states and then remove some section and cut some into Delta, some into Benue, some into Rivers, some into, making it look like Igbos are very little.
Yes.
Now, when you seem very little, you see, you become defeated in your mind, because when you look, you say, we are little. And that confirms that you are a tribe, not a kingdom or a nation. Because when you look at yourself, you say, we are small. I was telling people, I said, when a white man is tribalistic, they will say he's a patriot. But when a black man is saying, give me my own self-determination, I want Igbo nation, I want nation like Israel, they'll say, you are being tribalistic, because yours is a tribe, not a nation.
Yes.
Yours is a tribe, not a kingdom that it was before.
Yes.
But if you begin to think, you ask yourself, what makes you a tribe? And what makes you a nation and a kingdom? Why are you a tribe? And the white man in his own tribe is a nation, and a country. You see, if you don't get to the down, the basis of your problem, you will not understand what Ninas is saying. And when we talk up, you will talk down. We can't even choose our own leaders. Do you know that? Look at what is happening in Ambra State.
No, we can't.
You can't choose your leaders. And some people are saying, vote, vote, vote. In Imo State, my people voted in Imo State. They chose their leader. But what happened? APC removed the person they chose and put their own candidates. So it's not enough to just vote. You will defend your vote. That's what we're telling you. If you choose to vote, you must, the job has not finished. You must stand there to defend your vote, to make sure that the candidate the people chose is the one that is leading the people.
Yeah.
That is how
the way of thinking. Yes.
So don't just finish the job in the middle of the way and then disappear because you're cowards. If you must struggle, understand what you're struggling against so that you understand the strategy. See, we can't even invest in our land. Do you know that we have rich people in diaspora? Just, we're talking about citizens. We're talking about Igbo people. We're talking about Ijo people. We're talking about Yorubas, Middle Belt, that are outside the country that can build factories and industries uncountable and start producing things that you cannot imagine. We can't do that because we have been conquered.
Yep.
How do you attract investors if your land is a war-torn area? Ndibo, Anambra State, what is going on? Your land has been conquered and there's state of emergency declared over your land. Like in Namibia, it happened in Namibia. The thing about our show is that we'll give you the problem and we'll give you the solution. We're not leaving you hanging. So we're not here to carry propaganda or fake news. No. We'll give you facts. You go and verify them. And then we'll tell you the solution to it because there's a solution already. A new way of thinking is when your brother has profiled the solution, don't start fighting to go and bring a fake thing because you must bring your own solution.
Makonya, you have to hear my voice. See me or I will die. Notice me or I will die. I have to say something. I have PhD in chemical engineer from Oxford. You must listen. When you don't
investigate the solution on the table. There are two ways of getting self-determination: war and referendum. Be honest to yourself. Which one can you use when you already conquered and the enemy around you, on top of you, under you. You are boxed in. Which one can you use? You want to start war empty-handed. My people say you don't catch the thing that bites empty-handed. Ade abaka, it's different. Something bites. You don't go bare hands. If not, that will chop off your hands and you will die. So you must, if you decide to face that thing that bites, you must get proper iron hand gloves. Or get a way to make that thing that bite to sleep so that you can escape. That is where strategy and brain work comes in. Zamna, please, if you have the next one.
Yes.
Because we're talking about being wise. If you don't understand what the problem is, you will not understand what we say that we need to be wise. We need to use.
You know, Brother Tony has said this. He has said this over and over again. If you don't understand the diagnosis, you will never be able to prescribe the right medication for it.
Never.
So that's the same thing that we're telling you now. If not, you will continue to challenge your brother that has the right strategy on the table because you want to be heard. You're not doing anything on your own side. You want us to take our Ninas to your village when you are hiding somewhere in New York, working 7 shifts. You have not called your villagers to see what is going on there. And then when you do, it's a bag of rice. You give them a bag of rice that will probably last, for someone who has been hungry for a while, it may last maybe 2 weeks, it will finish. That is the solution our people have been bringing to us for years. We will tell them that the land is not good, things are happening, they will bring a bag of rice and share, a bag of tomato and share. No one is bringing a tangible solution on the table that can get us to a place where we can actually, eventually take care of ourselves. And then when they see their brothers doing the work, instead of supporting them, they want to challenge it. This is what we've been doing. Even in our village meetings, you will see someone will be talking, someone will make the point. Another animal will wake up and start talking nonsense. That's why here in the US, our children refuses to join the meeting. All these fake village meetings they are having, claiming they're doing something. The children don't have time for that. Who goes?
No, I can't tolerate that meeting. No.
Yeah, who goes?
Somebody will come 5 hours after the meeting and ask the question where they started, and we will start again, going circle. I said, I don't have time for that type of nonsense.
The children refuse. Every time they will woo them in, give them resources to come in. They will go there and listen to all that. It does not make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Refuse. So as we are telling you right now, we have to change the way of thinking. There is no meeting, even here in American society, no class lasts more than 15 minutes.
Exactly.
After 15 minutes, nobody is listening to you
anymore.
Their brain has left the building.
Exactly.
Then we can actually go to meeting and spend 4 hours doing
nonsense. 4 hours of nonsense. You remember our RPOB meetings now? This guy will spend 3 hours making roll calls. Is Sister P there? Is Sister Mona there? And the way he's calling it, he's like, okay. The people getting ready to be free. You're spending 3 hours on roll call. And then 45 minutes to read the agenda of the last meeting. How the roll call was called last meeting. Then 15 minutes is remaining. They will not discuss something useless that doesn't make sense. And then somebody that came 3 hours will not ask you, what did you say in the first? No, it's chaos. You will know that people that operate this way deserve to be enslaved.
Yes, they do. By all means necessary.
It's like you can't function in the world like this. When the world are going to the moon, trying to find out another planet where human beings can live. You are still at this level and you expect freedom to be given to you? No, they want to put you in a container so that they can use these things, the resources that you don't even know what you're sitting on.
Or they will use their usual Appian way, right? They are working their 12-hour shift in New York and they are hailing the Biafra that they don't know anything about and praising it. And will not take time to go and investigate what is being done. Will not be, you are not even allowed to ask questions. And my so-called educated people are, both of them praising them in silence and in public, will be there clapping for something that they don't know anything about after 40-something years in America. Oh, I forgot. I think a whole lot of them are still stuck in that, what is that age group that calls themselves youth. At 70, because you haven't achieved anything, you're still a youth.
Yeah.
At 70, because you just bought your first car that American children will get at their 15th birthday, you're giving testimony. American spec.
Yes, in the
When
church.
all you
Meanwhile,
did-
use the American spec. Oh. It's not
Use
even
the
the brand new
American
one.
spec, my dear.
That's what
A
you're
new way
celebrating.
of thinking.
Yes.
We have to check. We can't stand this anymore. It's disgusting. It's despicable. We have to change. It's like a revamping. We have to change everything. We have done it wrong. Like my sister said it, you have been captured. Just accept that. I be doing from there.
Exactly.
Let's start from there. Because that's the first, for you to solve any problem, you have to understand, acknowledge first, my dear. You have to acknowledge that it's a problem.
That is true.
So we have acknowledged you guys have been captured. I wonder, Gigi.
You have to understand it and then begin from there. Honestly, you just have to.
And
So
what
you watch this video,
Go ahead.
what a community, because we need wisdom, like we said. We really need wisdom. What is wisdom? Ability to think critically. You're in a problem, you want to analyze the problem correctly so that you can solve it correctly, not just using another problem to complicate another problem. You want to solve the problem and for real solve the problem. You need critical thinking. But your enemy will not allow you to have it, because the day you begin to think critically, that's the end of your solution. I mean, that's the end of your problem.
Yes.
And the enemy knows it. So the enemy wants to keep you unable to think.
Yep.
Listen to this man so that you understand the categories.
Society wants you to become wise. It is against the investment of all societies. If people are wise, they cannot be exploited. If they are intelligent, they cannot be subjugated. They cannot be forced in a mechanical life to live like robots. They will assert their individuality. They will have the fragrance of rebellion around them. They would like to live in freedom. Freedom comes with wisdom, and no society wants people to be free. The communist society, the fascist society, the capitalist society, the Hindu, the Mohammedan, the Christian, no society would like people to use their own intelligence. Because the moment they start using their intelligence, they become dangerous. Dangerous to the establishment, dangerous to the people who are in power, dangerous to the haves, dangerous to all kinds of oppression, exploitation, suppression, dangerous to the churches, dangerous to the states. In fact, a wise man is a fire, alive, a flame. He would like rather to die than to be enslaved.
Right. So you can see, like we always say in our show here, that these things are strategy, part of strategy for you not to be able to do anything. I can remember for years, the so-called professors, the leaders, should I call them even the owners of the land, they were busy deceiving us with all manner of stuff. If we cry, we'll get engine oil and maybe rice or rice and eat for a while. It's like these animals for years have been massaging our, what should I call it? Our yawn for more. We complain, they give us pacifier. They may even not put anything on it, we can cry. They say, well, let's add a little bit sugar on the pacifier so that we can keep sucking. And nobody is asking any questions. And that's why they can call themselves professors. They cannot bring any solutions to the table. You will tell them, oh, our people are dying. They said, I wrote books. Hey, give me your email. Let me send you those books that I wrote. You tell them that our youth can't find a job. They say, oh, my son just got a job in Wall Street. He has an Igbo name, Chukwuemeka Ojukwu.
Meanwhile, he doesn't even know the road to his village.
He doesn't know the road to his
Igbo
village.
man that is in New York, but you don't know where Igbo is located.
No.
Some will tell you he's in northern part of Nigeria.
Oh. This is what's been going on. And we're telling you today that a new way of thinking is understanding the underlying issues. And then we move from there.
Yep.
That will be a better way for us to get our get to our destination. It's no longer okay for you to interject and want to be heard because you're crazy, because you think you're paying your rent in New York or in Houston. It's no longer okay. Critical thinking.
You're like US Marine.
Yes.
All of a sudden, you now have sense.
My dear, are they kidding me?
Yeah.
Are they
Check
kidding
your
me?
check, your account in America. It's $100,000. Okay, that now equates that your brain is working. Meanwhile, in America, people can be stupid and still work and earn money because
All the
something's
time.
automated. They'll
All
just
the
tell you
time.
press this button, press this button, press this button. I mean, you get salary. It does not prove that you have brain, that you can think well. Even if speaking English, you can speak English. You can hear some of them in clubhouses. When you listen, you want to cry. They are speaking big English. I'm talking nonsense. I live in UK. I live in US. But you don't know what the facts are, sister, brother. Can you calm down and listen to the facts? So that when you contribute, it will be meaningful contribution. That's what we say. Humble yourself. Things are no more the way it was 20 years ago, 70 years ago. You could do all those nonsense you're doing. The formula of 70 years cannot work for us today. There is a new way of thinking. You have to respect other indigenous peoples. Because some people conquer other indigenous peoples and say, we are speaking for them. We are Niger Delta. Niger Delta is Oyibo man that created the name. Who are you originally? Are you Ijo?
Nonsense.
Are you Efik? Who did your parents tell you that you are? Your grandfathers. Even Biafra is a created name.
What do you?
You are Igbo, indigenous peoples of Igbo land. Yorubas, I know they have Omo Odoa and all that, but at least they have one language, so they can sort it out when they get to their block. But Middle Belt and Lower Niger Territory, they have a lot of peoples. That's what when we use peoples, that means kingdoms, nations that were there very well, functioning very well before the colonial masters came. Somebody will say, like Sister Muna was talking about what has happened to us. Sister Muna, please go ahead, continue.
It's sad. Every part of this thing is a strategy by the enemy to keep us down. And we sat down and watched it happen. They used their English language to deceive us for years. People were using English language to intimidate their own people. Whereas it's just a mere language. It's just a means of communication. Nothing more, nothing less. They will even laugh. You use the wrong tense. They will bust out laughing, but you can't speak a word of Igbo fluently. And it's okay for my people. They went as far as changing their name. They don't answer Muna Chimsa anymore. Therefore, it's just when I came here, my middle name is Nkiru. And some people told me to change it to Nikiru. No, it sounds like Nikiru. Sound Nunu there. Nagi there. Niki does not mean anything. What is that, candy? Nkiri means a great word for me that I need to keep that name by all means necessary. What did they do? They deceived my people. They think they have to answer Linda, Jennifer. By the way, Jennifer think it's a flower. They answer
Linda is a little snake or something. There's one Mirinda, then Linda, snake, a little snake.
Deceiving us. They will tell us in order to get a job, even your pastors will have the audacity to preach on their pulpit that for you to get a job, change your name to Musa. What is the comparison between Munachi and Musa that I have to change my name? Instead of you to bring a solution to it, your solution is for me now to start answering the other names so I can get a job. They will tell you that the reason why you're having issues is because your name is the one stopping you. And it's
your name is demonic.
Yes. And we watch this, my sister said 250 years. Are you sure it's not 1 million years?
Right, yeah. It should be more than that, of not being active, of being like Mumu, she done the look.
They took us down.
Say our Mumu don't reach.
I remember as we were growing up, my mother would speak to us with her eyes.
Yes.
People will come into the house. You will know when she will say, leave the living room. You will know when she say, get water. Without speaking, things will be moving.
I'm telling you.
Directing our children. We have been so smart, and these people recognize the power that we have within ourselves and how our acuity, they cannot even measure it. They systematically put things in place to destroy it. As we are saying, they put all manner of church. How can a land be so full of churches and yet it's still on fire?
When the one we complained about churches, they brought a promotional or what is
Motivational speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're bringing our people from church arts, they are the same group of people are running out, opening motivational speaking engagements to drag my people inside again. And we're asking our people today, when you come out from those fake churches, those churches that consist of wizards and witches, go and regroup first. Go to the cleanest water in your village and take shower. Ask your forefathers, your ancestors to clean you from head to toe and your mind. Don't let them motivate you anymore. Because under their watch, we went down. They really was in part, they were continue. Let me not say was, they are still in partner with our enemies to put us down so that we're not asking questions. We're busy praying and fasting, going to midweek services, running around in circles when the enemies are paying them in jet fuels and jets and the plane and helicopter.
Yes.
As they are gathering you guys and capturing you guys, the enemies are paying them in financial means.
But you know, they're very strategic in what they're doing. They will take few of us, empower them to say Nigeria is working. Look at people like Obi Kobana, Obi Koboko. Is it? These are the people that carry money away for our politicians. I'm not saying that one in particular, but I know all of them are into one thing or the other. Because there's no way you will tell me that a country that is not working for 215 million people, that all of a sudden you are the smartest guy, that when you sell Ose no Poroko, you become a billionaire. Please show me the Ose no Poroko. Let me to go and sell it. I want to open a hotel so that me too will become billionaire. My people, stop being deceived. Please. And you are the ones celebrating and clapping for them. They want to bury their mother. They will use 500 cows of those Fulanis that are killing you and raping you. Can't you people reason, please? Please. Natano Noboro. And they will spread money. Why are they doing that? To show that there is wealth in Nigeria, even when you are complaining that you don't have. These are strategies. And when they finish, they will bring their brothers, give them a lot of money to be a motivational speaker. Speaking to the dying people.
Hey!
You're not doing this. When you open business, you have to do this too. When you open work, you work a little here. You have to do this so that you become a billionaire instantly. One of those motivational people, I don't know whether his bill for 1 hour is $100 or how much. He was even saying, he said, I'm not cheap, I'm expensive. My people.
What is motivation about Nigeria? People come around.
I mean, somebody is killing you. You want to motivate you to think that it is not the system that is the problem. It is
yes, it's you.
It's strategic.
They are all business partners, and that's what we want people to understand. They are all British agents in their different capacities.
Yes,
all of them.
Yes. So
as
you
long
must
as they
start
hold
thinking
you down, they will continue to steal resources. As long
Exactly.
as you're in church, believing God for miracles. As long as you're going there, motivating yourself, you can motivate yourself from here to Chicago. One policy change by the Fulani, you return back to your
That's
village.
over. That's your poverty will hit you like a bandit. It's over. One policy. And you and that's your motivation. They'll say, go and do tomato paste. You go into everything. One policy. That your company and industry will collapse. Where is your motivational speaking?
You've paid thousands to go and learn. We're bringing our people from the churches. They are on the other side, setting up a pipeline to pipe them into motivational speaking. Yes. With your motivational speaking when the Fulanis were taking over our land.
And which motivational speaking is Mula Fulani that and El-Rufai that they are going through that they captured my people? Which motivational speaking session did Buhari attend that he captured my people? and
Sister-
put them in Odindu.
What we're saying today that those people are no longer allowed to speak for our people. Do not allow them to motivate you. Do not allow them to church you. Do not allow them to read the scriptures for you. Do not allow them. They are all business partners. I don't care if they put you in the biggest cathedral in Africa with air conditioning there and it looks like something that you have never seen, whether they look pregnant and they will never deliver their child and they're preaching to you. The next week, they will tell you they will never go to Buhari. The next week, they will show up in Buhari's house or mansion.
Yes, with their wives.
With their
shaking
wives.
hands. And these are people that will tie their hair, no earring, no bangle, because they're righteous. And then you go and greet the terrorists of the land, blood sucker, with blood all over his body and his hand. You're shaking him and bowing to him.
My dear, their days are numbered. Days are numbered. Get away from them. It's the only way that you will get clarity. So someone that has been using cocaine for years, the only way for you to stop that addiction is for you to get away from that substance and clear yourself. And we're telling you now, motivational speaking, churches, they are part of that substance, cocaine,
Yes.
that they're using to enslave you. While their agents are busy flying resources off our land from Poto ground. They will fly their plane in Poto. We've seen it on this show.
Yes.
We have never imagined that, but it's happening as we speak.
And they will raise them. You know, when that Obi Koboko, or Kubako Banana, he was doing a show in a private jet. I told him, I said, okay, he'll be picked. He has crossed the boundary. He's doing show in private jet for the big boys. No. He did the other show he did in diaspora. They said, no, this one. So that's what they do. They raise you up and come for you. It's to rob you and put shame on you. They might release you after, but they have disgraced you. And they say it's money laundering. Whose money did you launder? Money launder. You are washing the cotton. Whose money did you wash? Laundry, indeed. They will tell you to carry money out for them. When they finish, they will now call you the money that they are money launder. You are laundering money. Who gave you the money that you are laundering? Also ego. Who gave it to you? They were saying, we want to retrace ourselves. Have we always been this stupid? Or did somebody work on our brain and got us down? This is our brother, Boniface Ofokaja. This man, this child was 16 years. This video was in the 50s, 1950s. That's up to 60 years now. Wow. Our child that was 16 years was of this level of thinking 60 years ago. He was just 16. Listen to him, hear the eloquence, hear even our humor. He didn't even drop our humor in the way he was saying what he was saying. Look at the boldness, look at the confidence, backed with facts.
In 1950,
1950. He was not getting eloquence from spreading lies and propaganda to our people. Makandena saw you both from UK. You gather lies and propaganda, you spread to my people because he can speak English.
Remember their road franchise leader told them that if you want to lie and steal and destroy, you speak eloquent English and it will work for you. And we saw it happen.
So we are saying, this is our brother here, speaking correct English, speaking boldly. But first of all, he got his facts. He read. This our brother read. He read the things, the information, so that when you're talking and they ask you questions, you can ask. He dug out facts. You dig out these facts, not the one that you go and get from stealing other people's work. Your brother has finished getting all the information. Our brother, Tony Nadi, broke archives to bring out information. These rogue franchise people stole the information that he shared with them and started using it to make money and deceive our people. All of a sudden, they are the ones that said 1999 Constitution first. No! This has been Nina's, LNC. So we are not talking about people stealing other people's information. That is plagiarism. That is stealing.
Grants for F here in America.
In America, where we live,
and they
when you take information from somebody, you give credit. As a result, you are encouraging the people to work more, because in this life, there are people that don't like to come out openly. They want to be underground. But if you use their work, give credit to them. Say, it is Daughters of Truth, it is Tony Nnadi, it is Nina's, it is LNC. You will see when we write things, we put it in quotes and say who said it. That's how you give credit. It is not you. Because the danger of that is that, one, you discourage those that are trying to work with their brain to bring out all these facts for us. And another thing, you are presenting it without giving credit, people will think that you are also smart. And they'll start running after you. And when they run after you, you don't have anything else to give, because where you got it from, it has finished.
Oh, wow.
So we cannot do that anymore. A new way of thinking is, when you use a material that your brother or your sister dug out and put together, please give credit to him or to her. That is how nations became very successful. Give credit to people for their work so that they can work more. We don't want to discourage them. What our brother was born in 1940 in Kano, but he schooled in Lagos. Have you seen that our people, is not today we started traveling?
Mm-hmm.
And then at 38, he was already doing well. But you know what? They could not celebrate him until after death. And we don't want to wait until all of us die before we will start celebrating our people. Please go ahead, Sister Mona.
Suitable star of the show was the 16-year-old from Nigeria, Boniface Afakaja. He spoke with a confidence that was backed by facts.
Wait a minute. In the Johannesburg area, you have only one telephone to the whole Negro population.
Oh, rubbish.
Yes.
Where do you get your facts from?
Facts from books written on countable times on South Africa.
Well, that's
We are not the only.
Demonstrated poise and incredible oratory skills far beyond his age.
There, my boy.
What do the natives do? You know what, Susan, at one point you must get right down to the crux of the matter. Is that in this country, the Africans are really the backbone of your economy.
Yep.
And it is one of that cases where you get this question of man's inhumanity to man. And every day you come here to complain about misrepresentation of the American press. In the actual matter of fact.
And even employed humor and wit, qualities which made him even more memorable.
Much. How about you, Boniface? Have you met segregation at all here?
I've not met it. I think they must be pretty lucky, because I've been looking forward to get this segregation against me, but I have not got it yet. It's an irony that the South African will get it and I wouldn't get it myself.
Can you imagine the effect he would have had on the audience of this show in a still largely segregated America? Undoubtedly, they would have been stunned to see such a bright, intelligent, and fearless African speaking on behalf of not just his country, but all Africans.
That's who we
Boniface
are.
was born in Kano State, Nigeria on May 21st, 1940. He demonstrated remarkable oratory skills far beyond his age while still a student of the prestigious St. Gregory's College in Lagos. He studied history and economics at the University of London. Later, he obtained a degree in the history of ideas from Sorbonne University in Paris. His daughters have commented that he was an extremely avid reader and a lifelong learner. Upon completing his education, Boniface pursued a career in broadcasting and interviewed many prominent figures while serving in this capacity. Eventually, he was appointed Director of News and Current Affairs in East Central State Broadcasting Service. In 1978, aged 38, Mr. Afakaja became the youngest Director General of the service, where he ran an efficient and innovative operation.
Of course.
After retiring from broadcasting, he pursued his entrepreneurial dreams and established a large farm named Ekilo Farms, at the time the biggest in southeast Nigeria. Boniface married Nidi Obianlo, an equally bright and educated lady who was also an alumni of Sorbonne University. Boniface was fluent in the French language and initially met Nidi, who also spoke French for that reason. They had 2 sons, 5 daughters. Boniface took his personal Christian faith more seriously later in life. Sadly, he passed away on November 10, 2018, at the fulfilled age of 78 years.
All right, so we have this video. You can see that it's not today that we started to show our intelligence everywhere we go. It's not today. And these people that we are dealing with understand what we have, the power that we have under us. So what did they do? Destroy, 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 destroy. They want you to go to London to study. They want you to go here to study. They want you to go, but that geographical space that you have is not good to build a higher education. As of today, the so-called Nigerians are spending $29 billion. Billion dollars. It's a billion. I can check again. Million or $1 billion every year to school their children. Just in America alone. I don't know about all the other Western world.
There has to be billion. No, there's no way to be million. You know what? To go to school in this one of these schools in America here.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll put it up while you're talking earlier.
It has to be billion, my dear.
I'll go look just to make sure, you know. So as you are speaking, if you take that 10% of that, you can build and pay teachers all the time. I mean, pay them back even retirement for 100 years to come.
Exactly.
And they will be there to teach our children.
But they will not let you.
They will not let you. And we're telling you that we have been captured, as always. We have been captured. There's not, as long as we are under this Nigeria, one Nigeria that some people are proposing, as long as we are under the captivity of the Fulanis and the British government, we will continue to run in circle. No amount of election, no amount of Fadam Baka and his fake olive oil and water will rescue you guys from this thing. The earlier we begin to understand, some people will say, oh, don't speak like that. Hey, I don't care about how you guys want me to speak it, because it's the same fakeness that landed us this. The same inability to speak the truth that landed us in this predicament. Precarious situation. And none of us can do anything about it. That's where people are still faking it and hiding it and speaking brave English when the house is on fire. As if English language is now firefighters. When fire comes, they will come and quench you with English language.
Yes.
And we're saying it's a new way of thinking. We have to change all these fakeness, propagandas, all these other things that have held us down, and we pretend like it's not happening. We have to change it, because you know what? Our land is calling us to return and get it fixed.
Yep.
We are not here by chance. We are not waking up here every Saturday by chance. We have so much. If you begin to imagine our itineraries, you will be wondering what the hell, how do we even survive a day? But for some reason, every Saturday, God will give us peace to come and dissect this information, because we never get it from Channel News, Arise News, any of those news. Neither will we get it from BBC.
No.
They will be busy reporting something else, and we want
our partners
to receive sense. We can see even 1959, our young baby brother, 16 years of age then, can outwit their so-called.
Telling you. Mesmerize
can
them.
we produce that now?
With their English.
With their English. With their English, my friend. With their English. So we need to get it right. We need to get it right. We need to call a spade a spade. We need to speak the truth in its entirety.
Yes. Not half and half.
Not half and half. Half-baked truth. That's not going to work anymore. In its entirety, and then we begin the journey. As long as you are running in circles, lying to yourself because the money is short from the other side, you're getting money here. When your people are dying, you're busy collecting money on their blood. And you think, sister, please continue.
My dear, you know it's so terrible that there were some people that Brother Tony had met for like over 20 years trying to explain this problem to them. They did not embrace it. They said they did not understand it. Now, as Daughters of Truth, we met them privately, spoke to them, broke it down for them. They say, oh, now we understand it. Now, rather than follow the pattern on the table, they went to start forming their own political groups and other things. I say, it took you 20 years to understand the problem that we are in, that your brother Tony was explaining to you. It took you 20 years to understand it. Now you think that in 2 months you get the solution. From what brain, no? The brain that you took 20 years to understand what the problem is. That all of a sudden in 1 month you now bring the solution. Can we stop deceiving ourselves? We don't want to begin to call names because we know your names. We begin to call names. We'll get to somewhere, we begin to call your names.
Yes.
Because you know you are hearing us.
Yes.
We spoke to you. You said you did not understand it. Now that you understand it, what did you do? You hopped off to go and start forming political parties and start forming groups that I don't know where they came from. And we are asking you, as daughters of the land, if you took you 20 years to understand simple problem, how do you think that sincerely, within 1 month, you now got the solution? Can't you see that we can't trust your brain? That your brain is outdated and unable to lead us into the next generation. So our people, remember, it is all about moving Nigerians forward. I say Nigerians. I did not say Nigeria, because Nigeria is dead. What we are planning is burial. For them to fix the burial date so that we'll bury it.
Yes,
they don't
sir.
move carcass forward. Nigeria is dead. One Nigeria is dead. I will say it again. I know some people don't like hearing it. Your one Nigeria, your Caliphate Nigeria, your British Nigeria, your that experiment that Britain is doing in our land, it is dead.
Yeah.
What we are here for is how to move the people that we are trapped forward. How do we revive the people that your one Nigeria killed? How do we revive them and get them back to life? That's what we're coming here to do. So this is not about individuals. It's about people. And we need people to be reasonable. We want you to begin to think, to develop critical thinking. We want you to begin to think, please, as we present these things to you line by line, well planned out, is to help you to think along this line. It's not about celebrating Tony. No. It's about you looking at the issues on the table so that you begin to understand them. Because when you understand what the problem is, you understand why this solution is the only solution that can solve it and not create more problems for us. If people have done something or said something correctly, please learn to be quiet and listen more. Everyone must not talk. Everyone must not have an idea. Everyone must not have a solution. There's a solution on the table. We are not looking for it. This solution, it took 20 years to plan it. Strategically put it on the table. Engage it. We are calling you, we're inviting you to come and engage this solution, understand it, so that when you ask questions, it will be informed question. And when you make contribution, it will be informed contribution. Please stop taking us round and round like Omona meeting. Please go ahead.
They want 100% autonomy over the republic, the Afghan republic, the host of this world,
no, I think
the host of this world.
You're supposed to start from beginning.
They may not be able to explain it.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As debates and arguments rage on about the constitution and the amendment and restructuring, we again come to you from the Secretariat of Minas to explain what exactly most of the terminologies being used mean and how they relate. Therefore, how we can manage all of it, to accommodate everybody in a process that everybody can relate with. And so we've seen that away from what it used to be, many people used to argue that the constitution is not the problem. It is the people who are managing the constitution that are not doing well. The illiteracy and ignorance of that proposition has been exposed by the recent happenings in the country, so that everybody can see that the constitution is at the 1999 constitution, the unitary constitution of Nigeria, is at the center of all the problems Nigeria is contending with. And Nigerians too, both the mass impoverishment that has made them global capital for poverty and the gross insecurity that is raging all over the place, and the hopelessness, that is growing by the minute. So everybody now realizes that that constitution is the problem. Most people now agree that that constitution has to be changed. The only people who are still arguing about whether it should change or not change are the same people who imposed it and who have also imposed Sharia and who are feudalists, because they do not want any democracy. They do not want any union of equal partnership or equal opportunity, because they do not believe all men are born equal. And they want to hang on to their Sharia in a secular union. So, having agreed, let us talk for the majority now and leave the minority that has seceded from the union. The majority having all agreed on the question of taking out, doing away with the unitary constitution that is not working to something that could work. Some have suggested a return to 1963 constitution. Some think National Assembly is the one to do all of what has to be done. But the self-determination collective, those who know better, and I'm not saying it in the sense of boasting, the question of who can make constitution is exactly like asking who can make the memo and articles of a company. It's as straightforward as that. Only the owners of the company, only the shareholders, the promoters, people who come together to submit their assets and take the risk of going into formation of a company can make their memo and article. It is after they've done all of that that they now hire a management to run their company. So it's not the management of the company that will make the memo and article. That's how simple it is. Going back to constitution, who can make constitution? It is the constituents, those bringing their sovereignties together, that can make any document that can become constitution. Those who could be countries of their own, if not for the union they formed. The Yoruba, for instance, would be a country of 50, 60 million people if Nigeria were to cease to be today. The eastern Nigeria, the lower Niger, that's the eastern half of southern Nigeria, the south, south, and southeast, as we have it in this map, would be a country of more than 70 million people if Nigeria was not occupying their space today. In the middle belt, we could be talking about anything between 40, 45 million. That would be, these are the owners of the sovereignties that are, aggregated into what we call Nigeria. But whether that aggregation is of their own making, volition, agreement, or has been a question of hijack is an issue now. At independence, the reason they became one country, all these constituents, the reason they became one country at independence in 1960 was because they had agreed to be a federation. To be a federation, that's a union of otherwise independent units with their full sovereignties, with their constitutions in their hands. We recall that they got all their constitutions in place before they went to Lancaster House to finalize the terms of becoming one political union. So that if those discussions of Lancaster House did not, sail through, the Western region that had its constitution and self-governance from 1957 will remain a country of its own, growing the way it was growing, with all its assets and its, rights to work those assets unhindered. The same thing with Eastern Nigeria, the same thing with Northern Nigeria all the time. But it was because of the extent, the agreement they reached to be a union of, autonomous regions that had control over their sovereignties, their assets, and their rights to work those assets. All of that got truncated by 1966 when the coups happened and the 5 constitutions that defined the union got toppled. I had to go into all of that in order to lay the ground for us to understand what this restructuring debate is all about. And I'm speaking to it now from the perspective of the self-determination collective. All of those who say the imposition represented by this current constitution, is no longer acceptable to them because they have become a union of death, a union of backwardness, a union of attrition for them. And so some want out. The Oodua Republic campaign, the Biafra Republic campaign, all of those who are saying restructure back to 1963, all of those who are saying resource control, they are saying exactly the same thing. They want something they decide for themselves. And that is the meaning of self-determination. All those agitations and demands are being driven by the desire for self-determination. Whether it is restructuring or Oodua Republic or resource control or Biafra Republic all of those are being driven by only one desire: self-determination. And what is that self-determination? Because there's also this confusion in, including in high places. Many think that self-determination automatically translates to independence, secession, leaving the union. No, self-determination simply means what it says: to determine for yourself how you live in your space. And that self-determination could be one in which you are satisfied with 80% of 80% autonomy instead of 100. 80% autonomy will take you back to what you had in 1963 Constitution, where the regions had control of their assets and contributed only 15% to the center. The one that could be 100% is one in which some of those who now say they want to leave the union are complaining about the Sharia and the feudalism and the arrogance of those who impose those two. In this map you see, that is the preliminary objection. I am speaking as one who had worked with all of them for over 20 years, whether it was in the Yoruba space where Gani Adams and his compatriots picked up arms to question the internal security arrangement of Yoruba. I've had the privilege on behalf of the project to ask the leaders of all those agitations, eyeball to eyeball, why are you saying what you're saying? Why are you doing what you're doing? And I can report to us that they are only insisting on their right to determine for themselves how they operate and how they live in their spaces. And so, having established that it is the desire for self-determination that is driving all the agitations, it now comes to be decided. The only other thing that will be remaining to be decided will be the question of the degree of autonomy. It's only the degree of autonomy that varies between those who seek exit, outright exit. They want 100% autonomy. Oodua Republic, Biafra Republic, the Bohos of this world, the Nnamdi Kanus of this world, they may not be able to explain it the way we're explaining now, but that is what they want: 100% autonomy. The people who are talking about restructuring and who are pointing us back to 1963 Constitution are also discussing, the same self-determination, but they will be satisfied with 80%.
All right, so we are going to post this video in its entirety on our Facebook page. Again, this is the time to start sharing this information. If you have been deceived, if you have found yourself in noise making from Finland, from bunch of mad women in California, from bunch of all manner of stuff going on, if you have been deceived and you truly want to ask what is the way forward, how can we get this job done? This is the new way of thinking. Join us, get with the program, and you will understand. That's one thing about what Ninas is doing. It's not hidden anywhere. Nobody will call you names if you ask questions. There is step-by-step approach on how these things are being done, so that you can understand where we are, and where we are going. It's a no-brainer, my people. The job has been done. I keep giving an example with a door where someone kidnapped you and kept you there for years, and you banged on the doors for years, and the doors, was locked, only for you to give up and just wait for your death to come. You're sitting there thinking there's no way out, not knowing that your captor has unlocked the door and left for 10 years. And you're sitting there pathetically thinking, oh, I'm just going to wait for death to come. And then maybe some spirit touched you and you said, let me go and check. I know I haven't checked in 10 years to check this door. You went to check the door only for you to come outside. People are living out there with their family. They're like, what are you doing here? You've been here for 10 years. He said, yes. He said, we didn't know. There was a man standing here, but now he's been gone. He left 10 years ago. Imagine that realization. We're telling our people the door is unlocked. All you have to do is turn the knob, and you're out of the prison. There is no better way of explanation than this. Sister, please go ahead.
Thank you, Samla, for that explanation, because I remember something in the Bible say, like Lazarus, when Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, the dead clothes were still tying him. He said, lose him and let him go. Our people have been set free. Ninas has done a great job. Collectively. That's why you say self-determination collective. Because we seek one thing. We say we are trapped. We need to come out. And remember that your power, your sovereignty has been given back to you. It has been given back to you. How? If you are an indigenous person, indigenous people, December 16th, 2020, a proclamation was done. It's called Constitutional Force Majeure. That has given you back power in your hands.
Okay, so
Sovereignty, your sovereignty back in your hands. So you can do what you want to do with it. However, there is a rule according to UN. UN said your rights that you're exercising stops where the right of your neighbor begins. So you cannot encroach into other people's land because you have been working on something. Some people say, we have been working on this project before Tony came. We are looking for self-determination before Tony came. But you didn't find it before Tony
talking nonsense.
So we're saying all those things that you've been doing before Ninas came, carry it and keep by the corner. And check out this proposal on the table. It's possible for someone to be doing something 100 years and you never found the key. And then somebody found the key and said, Nekwania, see key. Say key, see key or see key. You have been looking for this key for 100 years. And somebody, through the guidance of God and intelligence and everything you can imagine, found the key. You stubbornly held your piece of metal. Say, oh, I have this for 100 years. But it has not worked for you for 100 years. This key is being presented before you. And Ninas said it is free of charge. Come and take. The only thing Ninas is asking you, understand it. Because if you don't understand it, you might use this place to start putting inside door. If you understand it,
you will claim it's not working.
They say it's not working. Meanwhile, you're putting the head of the key. Or you will turn it upside down when you're supposed to put it this way. So that's what Ninas is saying. Say, try and study this key. Come. Ninas is inviting all of you that you have one grievance or the other. You have been fighting. Nigeria is not good for me. They did this to me. They did this to me. When you listen to some people say, my forefathers, they fought on this thing. That is not the issue. There is a new way of thinking. Thank God for UN and Ninas, because UN brought out the 2007 United Declaration on the Rights of the Indigenous Peoples. Go and check it. Google it. It's about 46 articles based on that document. And by the way, Nigerians played the role in bringing out that document. Based on that, Ninas, we've been changing names from time to time because it's a very serious terrain to navigate. If you don't do it properly, they will kill you and that key. But they got this key for 20 years now, and they've been holding the key to pass it on to the indigenous people. So they were changing names because you have to operate underneath. But now it is exposed. It's in the open now because the work has been completed. Take the key, go and open your land and begin to do what you need to do to it. However, you must allow others to do their own. Do not go and trap some Igbo people in Niger Delta and start saying, we have formed our association. We were working on it 20 years and 70 years ago. But my people are trapped in that thing you're working on.
Yep.
So how do you explain the trapping of my people in your land?
Your land.
You want to enslave them again?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying it's freedom for all the indigenous peoples, all the ethnic nationalities. They now have right to decide who they want to form nation with. Your sovereignty has been given to you, but you will make that decision. It's according to UN standard. It's not just in Nigeria. Ninas did not start it. It's UN standard. So those of you that say, I've been in UN, I've been drinking tea in UN. In fact, do you know that 50 years ago, I went to Nina, I went to UN, and I drank tea there. If you go back to that UN, they will bring you back to this Nina's solution because they are examining this protocol, this strategy. It's been examined all over. In US, in UK, in UN, they are studying it and following it. So if you go back there and say, oh, we are indigenous people of Morocco, they will say a decision has been made. Can you go and equip yourself with that solution on the table? So you need to begin to think, understand how we want to activate referendums, and you begin to prepare for it. So go back to your village, like Dr. Mona said, go back to your village, begin to organize them. Because they're the ones that will make the decision to say, we want to go inside Nigeria or we want to stay outside. They will make that decision by themselves. So if you are living anywhere, your job, your assignment is to go back to your village, because this in every village will answer for themselves. I'm Igbo. I will not ask the Ijaw people their own. The referendum, Ijaw will vote as Ijaw. Igbo will vote as Igbo. So anything you're doing before now, there's a new way of thinking. Ninas is a movement, not an organization. So for those of you that keep saying, oh, Nina should do this, Nina should do that, there is a new way of thinking. Come as an indigenous person, you and your people, so that you understand it. You will need to think. Because if you want to get out of Nigeria, but you have not mobilized your people enough, when that voting comes, your people will stupidly vote to remain in Nigeria. Why my
taking a bag of rice and malt, right?
Yes. Why my Igbo people will vote to go out? Because I know we want to go out. Yorubas, we know they want to go out. So all the people that vote to stay in Nigeria, we stay in Nigeria. And those that vote to stay out of Nigeria, we stay out of Nigeria. So you need to understand these processes. And then you also need to make another decision, you and your people. What will be our level of autonomy? What level of autonomy do we want? Do we want completely living Nigeria? Or we want 80% autonomy? Or what do we want? You will make that decision yourself, you and your people. So you see, there's work on the table to be done.
And fairness as well.
Exactly. So you now ask, there's another question to be answered, the terms and conditions for this new nation. You will decide whether Ijaw, Efik, whatever, all these names you call, whether you want to form a nation by yourself. Some people will say, oh, the map, this map, go and change this map. In the Lower Niger Territory, the map that we're using is map of 1885. That's the oldest map that we could use delineating our territory. The unadulterated one. Not the one that they brought when they now made up their mind to divide and conquer us. They capture Igbo, put Igbo here, put Hausa there, put Yoruba here, put all those mixture they did. It's just the colonial master coming to confuse all of us. We are the people of the land. I know my forefather used my father-in-law. They're in Edo State, but he used to go to Delta in Abo for family meeting.
Wow.
So God show you where they're coming from.
Wow.
So please stop causing confusion. This thing is very simple. The only reason we broke it into 3 blocks is for ease of management. That's not the new nation. This is just for us to be able to coordinate ourselves, because UN wants us to coordinate ourselves. And we told you that this thing has been on the table of UN since 2000 and something. It didn't start now. 205, they already know, but the challenge was how to organize the indigenous peoples. So these 3 blocks is just for organization. You organize the people in Yoruba block, they are homogeneous. They speak one language. That's why they are in one block. In Lower Niger, we are heterogeneous, but we have some things in common. So we are in one block. In Middle Belt, they are also heterogeneous. They are in that block. So it's not like, oh, we spoke to Tony, and Tony brought out one block of Yoruba. Tony brought out one block of Middle Belt. Please stop showing people that you're ignorant. I'm ashamed on your behalf. Meanwhile, if you could go and study this document, you will have a better understanding. You will understand it's about equity and fairness for all the indigenous people, irrespective of your size, whether you're minimal, whether you're maximum. Ask yourself, who made you a minority? Is it not the white man that came and called you minority in your own land? Do they have minority in the north?
How dare?
Meanwhile, they have some groups that are smaller than some of the groups in our side. Why did they call us minority and did not call them minority or up there in the north? It's crazy strategy. So when you're speaking the white man's language, when you're speaking the language of the colonial master, you're only enhancing and aiding them in what they're doing in our land. And you're wasting our time. Listen to this, watch this video again so that you understand about size and success. You see, Israel is small. So for those of you that are small, you say, but we are small. It does not stop you from exercising your rights as indigenous people. Self-determination is your right. The referendum is the vehicle we will use to actualize it. Watch and see so that you will not be discouraged and say, we are small. It does not matter whether you're 70. If you are a people, organize your people, because there is a new way of thinking on the table. And when we are done with this in Nigeria, it's going to spread all the African nations.
Amen.
You need to understand it because we must be free. Thank you.
Many people like to say that my country, Israel, is one of the smallest countries in the world. And it's true. We don't have a lot of natural resources because we are short in land. This situation, perhaps, forced us Israelis to use our brain in order to survive. And today, Israel is one of the leading countries in technology, medicine, and innovation. Did you know that Israeli scientists have discovered how to fix your eye vision and restore it to 20/20? That's right. Israeli doctors have developed revolutionary nano eye drops that could replace your glasses. This will help millions by providing a simple alternative to laser correction, glasses, and contact lenses. Of all cancers, lung cancer is one of the deadliest, mainly because it is very hard to diagnose it early on. It doesn't cause painful symptoms until a tumor has grown too big and it's too late. Israeli startup Savicell have developed a new blood test to diagnose lung cancer at stage 1 and help give it a fast treatment.
That's what I'm talking about.
Speaking of cancer, Israeli researchers have discovered a way to kill cancer cells and cause it to shrink. Dr. Sharon Shacham established the world's first medicine, Expovio, to prevent proliferation of cancerous cells. It's the first and only drug approved by the FDA for the treatment of patients with multiple myeloma. This is hope for cancer patients. Millions of lives are going to be saved thanks to this Israeli treatment. Migraine pain, depression, ADHD, and insomnia. The answer to all of them is found in Israeli-made Relivia. It is an electronic headset that will send electrodes concurrently to 6 different branches in your head that will target specific nerves and prevent the secretion of brain chemicals that trigger pain. It has the European CE approval stamp on it, and it doesn't require any prescription. In other words, say goodbye to your migraine pains. The Alzheimer's disease is affecting some 47 million people worldwide. Until today, it remains an irreversible and fatal brain disorder. An Israeli scientist decided to be at the forefront of finding a cure to this and is now developing a vaccine that attacks one of the major signs of the Alzheimer's disease. These are only 5 ways out of countless innovations and solutions to diseases that didn't have treatments before. As you are watching, Israeli scientists are working around the clock to find cures to all kinds of cancer, Parkinson's, HIV, help children with autism, and more. Israel is helping to make this world a better place for all of us. Share this video to show your appreciation to Israel and educate others. because many people have no clue.
A
Okay,
lot has
so
no clue. It's so funny. So that little device that he showed that goes on the head, we actually do use it for migraine management here. The only difference is that the insurance doesn't pay for it, but it works. It works. I didn't even know. I thought it was from Germany. I didn't know it was an innovation from Israel. It works. As a matter of fact, a lot of my migraine patients, I have not seen them, the ones that were able to purchase that device by themselves. So it does work. It's amazing.
And you see, our people, we played this to the end for you to begin to develop ideas. These things Israel did, if they were still trapped in Germany, Russia, they will not be able to do it. Israel became a nation just 1948, and they're able to do these things to help their people. They're already improving the living condition of their people. So it's not about size, my people. You can be size and be fat like useless Nigeria. You can be small and effective. The world will prefer a small and effective nation than a big one that is bringing and breeding terrorists and destroying people. I heard that more countries are joining UN, and someone was like, it's not like new countries per se, that it's just the countries that were there breaking in pieces. USSR, for instance, added 15 to United Nations. Why can't Nigeria contribute as much as we want to United Nations? But we are talking about viability. And that's why those little ones, you will decide to team up with the people you want to team up with. Some people say, oh, we have 450 ethnic nationalities. Are they going to be nations? That's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying. But they will have their self-determination in the sense that they will have their sovereignty and decide what to do with it. They will now say, okay, we want to form a nation with Ndibo. Oh, no, we hate Ndibo with all the things that is in our body. We hate Ndibo. We don't want to form a nation with them. We want to form with Ijo.
Neither do I.
No problem. That is your right. You will decide by yourself. But you will write what you call Charter of Relationship when you decide that 5 of us, of all these ethnic nationalities, we are 5, and we are similar in the way we see the world. Our reasoning is the same. We have common value system. We want to come together. Through referendum, you will come together and have Charter of Relationship. And then say, this is what we'll do going forward. And this is what we call the name of our country. You will call it. But what we're telling you is that but you have to be viable, because UN, we approve it. UN will check certain things and then make sure whether, okay, 5 of you, if you have a nation, are you going to be viable? There are things they check out. And then they will also have tools for border adjustment. They will check the borders so that you don't encroach in other people's border. You don't go and cut Igbo land and say he's part of your Republic of Niger Delta. You won't be allowed to do it, no matter how long you have spoken English with UN for the past 50 years. It is all null and void.
Yep.
Because what you're doing will cause more trouble tomorrow. Even if those Igbo people agreed with you yesterday, they were trapped. So they can agree anything. And Igbo people.
Besides, we're not leaving our brothers and sisters behind. So don't get it twisted.
Exactly. So stop getting things twisted. Go back to your land. Check out your land. Ask your forefathers. They know. They know. Where is our own? And from culture and everything, you will know these things. But it's not going to cause trouble for us, because it's going to be you on your land and me on my land. Then anything that we have issues, there are people living there, they will vote. Even if those people vote and say they want to join Yoruba people, it is their voting. They decided it. All UN will do will be to supervise the referendums. It's multi-regional referendums. And then we begin to talk about division of assets and liabilities. These things that don't peacefully, you don't need war to solve out these things. And that's why we talk about transition, not anarchy. So it's not something you jump out and say, I'm a job, I want to form nation with Ishekiri. Okay, Ishekiri, whether you agree or not, you must be part of me. No, no. That's the old way of thinking. We want a lasting solution. We don't want solution that tomorrow we begin to fight again. You will have land, because UN has already said it, that as far as you are an indigenous person living on your land, you do have the right to self-determination. It has been said. People that say, oh, will UN agree? Somebody has given you key since 2007. Say,
What do you do?
Go and take your land and take your resources. But you're still living in ignorance.
Speaking English.
Speaking English. My dear Ndi are running around in circles and getting themselves killed. And mind you, what is happening in Anambra today, or in Igbo today, that's an occupational force of the foreign people in our land. It happened to Namibia. Because nobody will allow you to break down the law and order of the place. Somebody has to keep you in check. But the problem is that because you are making excessive noise, you attracted these enemies to your land. While the process is still going, there's ongoing process to liberate everyone. But you made too much noise. So you attracted the enemy to your corner. Ask yourself, why are they not in Yoruba land? Because Yoruba land, the Yorubas, they have different groups. The type of problem we have, they have it in Yoruba land. But they understand what Ninas is saying. So, and those that don't understand it, are still trying to understand it. They are agreeing to work together. And when they're doing their rallies, Ninas will say, don't say certain things, don't do this, don't do this. And they will agree, and they will follow their elders and remain cool-headed. If not, we are still the same thing. Then Igbos will start making noise and say, why are they killing us? They are killing us because we are Igbo. No, they're not killing you because we are Igbo. Of course, they were marginalizing you. You know, they want to marginalize you because of Igbo. But this current one is because you are breaking law and order. There is chaos. You're causing chaos in your land. Somebody has to put you in check. But you are the one that opened the door. And that's what we keep telling our people, please, let's limit the noise so that the process we are on can finish up quickly and we will get freedom. We want you to be alive to embrace this freedom. Please, we don't want you to be dead. We want you to be alive. It's like when there's war, a small child is busy crying, where. Those throwing bomb, we hear the noise and come on, blow all of you open now. Blow all of you. Please. And what is happening in our land is happening in Congo, it's happening in Southern Sudan. It's about resource control. So it's not just about you. When you keep saying it's because I'm Igbo, well, it's half truth. But it's not just you that is happening to. It's about the resources that you're sitting on. These people have sampled all our lands and they saw the resources in our land. So they want to kill you, displace you. You can see they're giving you visa to leave your land. Everything that they want to do to make you leave your land, they will do it. And you are helping them achieve it by being stubborn, stupid, ignorant, nonchalant, not knowing your left from your right. You are not able to discern, understand what we're saying. And you attract trouble to yourself. And we're saying, please, stop. Go ahead, Sister Mona, please.
I wonder where Father Mbaka is in all of this, the master prophet of our time, the one that says it all. Guinea, this is typical of our days of our lives. That some people will sit there and be talking from both sides of the mouth, and then when the explosion comes, I say, let's go and sleep.
Because that's what they wanted to do. Bring the noise and let our people be killed. Then they will hide and appear after our people are dead to pray for them for their burial.
Jesus. As you can see, earlier I posted the populations of all the countries that we have in this world, and you can see the numbers. You know, I didn't even know that Germany, the only 63 million.
Can you imagine?
And I don't know where my brain was.
And we are 70 million in the lower Niger territory.
Yes. So this is just in line with what the Israeli guy was saying. We are capable. In 1959, we are capable of doing our own thing. So it didn't start it. As long as we're one in that country called Nigeria, we will never move forward. We'll find ourselves in the Mediterranean Sea. We'll find ourselves cleaning Oyibo's toilets. You know, oh, God forbid, it may be their private parts. You will see them with a grown-up man. Our men that don't see old grandma's butts, they will ask you, that's the kind of job they will give you. And the grandma will say, clean it, I'm ready. She will open up for you. That's the kind of job our people will be getting. And we're saying it's no longer okay. There's a reason why God sent us to come here. Okay, we left our land, the land of milk and honey, and we thought it was here that the land of milk and honey is. Only for us to get here and we realize, my mother will say that the thing where they for sport, no be soup. A scorpion. And all kinds of scorpions is in the pot waiting for you. So we have to do better, my people. The new way of thinking. It's no longer okay to go to your village meeting and spend 4 hours there running in circles, and we cannot provide a suitable strategy that can solve our problem. Here on patch. We've been patching a building that the foundation is all about to fall apart. We'll massage ourselves and say, oh, we build a community hospital for our people. We'll bring one medication one time, go there and give them hypertensive medication, and then come back only for a whole lot of them to have a stroke and die. Because we lower their blood pressure quickly and left them with no blood pressure medication, boom, it goes back up and blow their brains. And we're saying, let's leave the patch walk, the Appian way walk, the fakeness. We are going to village convention. We've been convening for years, and Fulanis are busy. Onward marching to our land with their British partners. As we are speaking, they even hired one of our brothers that has access to radio station and has their name looks like ours, and they're there distracting us while they're walking straight into our backyard. And we're saying we need to change the way that we are thinking and adopt the new way of thinking. That when you see your brother doing work, if you don't understand, go and ask. My poor brother knows, he will explain to you. He will talk from morning till night. Even if you call him again, he will start. I don't even know where he gets the grace. and I'm not repeating myself anymore. But he has the grace to keep repeating himself, teaching and teaching and teaching. And people are saying, no, I wrote books. I was in Houston before you got here. I had my PhD and I was speaking in AU. And he does not know. A plus A, then you get 2 A's. So I don't even know if we have time to call in. We have done justice to today's show, a new way of thinking. Maybe that should be the slogan for this season. You know, find yourself doing stuff and ask yourself, am I doing this thing in a new way? This problem that I've been looking at all these years, can I look at it from a different dimension? Can I look at it in a new way? Can I approach it in a new way? Can I be honest with myself? And don't come to challenge anyone, but come to observe and learn and understand. And ask the smart question, not just for you to talk. And be honest with yourself in all dealings, so that you don't find yourself as 60 trying to marry somebody 30 years old and you think it's going to last. In 10 years, your machine will stop working. Okay, don't get it twisted. That's if you're lucky. It will stop working. The sister will go and born bastards for you all over the place. And there's nothing you can do. You're too old. You can't move. So in all our dealings, let us be honest. If you have done wrong, apologize. If you have been captured, recognize that you have been captured and start looking for a plan way forward. So my people, there's no better way to say this than to join us in the new way of thinking. I don't even know if we have time. Do we have time for
maybe a few calls today?
Okay.
Briefly, if there's anyone, if not, we'll just close.
Right.
People need to chew all this information, a lot of information. Our show is usually packed with a lot of information because we don't have time to come during the week, like doing small 10 minutes, 5 minutes and all that. We don't have time. We're very busy at work and at family. So, but on Saturday, we bring this day out, come and load information with our people, for our people. So please, today, in the summary, what we're saying is that self-determination is possible for every indigenous people, all the groups, indigenous ethnic nationalities. It's possible for you to be free from Nigeria. Self-determination, ability for you to determine by yourself I want to live this way. I don't want to live this way anymore. It's possible. And through Nina's platform. And another assurance will give you assurance that no other ethnic nationality can marginalize the other under this protocol. So please stop all this too much. If you come to meeting, be it in Clubhouse, be it every, calm down, please calm down and listen. Because sometimes some of the that you people make just shows that somebody's, I don't know whether high on drugs or alcohol or something, or combined. I don't know which one it is. We want to be civil to ourselves. We have rights as indigenous peoples. You have rights. I have rights. No need for shouting. Calm down. Let's listen to ourselves. Understand this project. There's no other one that is better than it. You can't even get anything that is better than it, because
God has answered our prayers.
Yes, it's UN approved. So even if you do climb to UN will redirect you to this proposal, because there's been a major problem to the whole world. That why is Nigeria so big yet causing trouble everywhere, producing all this? The latest one now is producing terrorists, because terrorists now have followed those slave masters to come and chop what they have been chopping for years.
And it tastes good.
What they say. We too want to chop this thing.
And it tastes good now.
Yes, so that's why America, UK, all of them, they are now like, oh my goodness, because they know they will be the first to be attacked. So you see, if you allow Nigeria to fall into the hands of terrorists, Nigeria will become a problem to the global peace. So it's like somebody, these slave masters, they kept doing something until they undid themselves. They trapped themselves into this problem because they're the ones that rendered Nigeria ungovernable. Because they want to steal resources. But their own partners,
they didn't plan very well with this.
No, they didn't plan very well. Thank God they didn't. Their partners, the terrorists that they've been working with and using to destabilize nations, now want more. That is how they landed into trouble. And they're confused. They don't know what to do now. But
I mean, simply, what do you expect? China is exporting materials. We just need to export our own, and it's called terrorism. I mean, it's abundant in the land. We need to export something. Is China the only one exporting something? We have to export something now. What do you mean?
Since they did not allow us to export what we have in our land, they've been stealing it. So now the Nigeria want to start exporting terrorism. Hello. So that is what is waking them up, and they want Nigeria fixed. So they're interested as much as you are. Don't think they're not, but they are more interested in this Nina's strategy because it makes sense to everyone. It makes sense. No war, peaceful, it's democratically done and everything. So our lawyers will come back to you because you went to school. Now because these things are legal issues. Now you go to school, collect certificate for law. But you can't figure out this simple thing. Please stop disgracing us. If you have a law degree, go and Google constitutional force majeure documents. Study it. Study Nigeria Constitution. Go back to school and get it. Me, I'm not a lawyer, but the thing where they talk, I understand them because it makes sense. If you now carry certificates of law, you can't understand it. It's either you're deceiving yourself, you're lying to yourself, and you're not honest to yourself. But you know what? The indigenous peoples, the owners of the land that you have been mismanaging are here. Thank you very much, our people.
Thank you. And last but not least, our sister Ndokan Nabu said, we must not allow evil people to continue to displace us. Mass exodus out of our land gives access to those evil people to continue to dominate and take what belongs to us while we suffer in foreign lands serving those wicked masters. This is the time for our so-called Nollywood celebrities to start speaking to stop displacement going on in our land. Prevention is better than cure. My sister, don't count on them. Why would they come and help you when they're busy putting Maggie in their butt to expand their butts?
Well, there's some even stealing in South Africa. Yeah, whether it's one of them, whether it's true or it's not, I don't know. I'm like, see what people are doing, disgracing yourself, rather than work on a project that is very viable and that will even promote you to somewhere.
No, they don't want my dear. It's all about them. It's all about their show. It's all about the latest vehicle. Dangote bought for them, and they have 2 different colors of it in their mansions and all this stuff. Our people are dying of hunger. Our people are being killed. Our people are being displaced, and all they can do is to show us their wealth. Africa, my brother will say, who did this to you?
Wake up.
Onye
Wake up. Wake up.
meru
There's a new way of thinking. Chimamanda, there's a new way of thinking. You wrote books using our pain and sorrow. Can you come and study this new way of thinking so that it'll be more useful to us? Because in the days ahead, children will come and take over if you refuse to understand what is going on now. Don't think it's going to be business as usual. You will not continue this way.
Nope.
Church leaders, there is a new way of thinking. All the people that will refuse to engage this process now and understand it, new people will understand it and take over and run this. And then you won't blame anybody, you will blame yourself for being dishonest. Thank you so much. See you next week. We love you so much.
Goodbye.
Bye.
If they come to our obodo, what they will do to us, Ndocha will not do 1/10 of what they will do to us. First of all, they will take over the medical field because that's how they come. They're medicine, all of them. They are going to take over the medical field. They're going to so change the face of that thing. Before you know it, one organ will be missing all the time when they treat a patient. We cannot release it.
Why you go with the kidney, one kidney?
One kidney,
one. You know, they did it to somebody in Abuja now. She went, legally in Nigeria, you're not supposed to open hospital if you're not a medical doctor. But this woman, these people, they were not even medical doctors. But because they came with one forged document, Nigerians gave them license and they opened the facility at Abuja. A woman went there, they said they were doing whatever for her, whether appendectomy or fibroid or something. But then they cut the skin and covered her up. So she went back. I don't know what happened sometime again, and she had to go for a scan. And her womb was there looking at her. So the person advised her to go back to that same hospital and say she wants to do scan. That is what is going on. That somebody did surgery somewhere and said that they removed the womb or something. That please you should help check. They now uncovered their own crime. They said, oh. They said, no, this one was not, in fact, they did not even penetrate the abdominal space. That it was just the skin they cut. But they gave her the history of what they did. Said, I did it in this hospital.
Wow.
So they will, it's about fraud. And we're telling our people, we can't allow this to happen. People, if you hate yourself this much, we will not allow it to happen. That's what we're telling you.
My goodness. Chinese will come with all the fake food.
Plastic food.
Plastic food.
Plastic cancer-causing food.
Cancer-causing food.
It's sad. Well, the mothers of the land are here. So we will see you guys next week. You have no choice but to receive sense. You know, I remember when you're in school, if you're not understanding lesson, your mother will be putting that's your big head is the bigger. Why is it not receiving information? We will we will beat this your head, this your mumu head, until you begin to understand what we need to do. And he's not going to understand science and English language. He's going to understand common sense, wisdom, critical thinking. We will beat it down for you because we're not going anywhere. We've already given birth to you, so we're not going to run away. We will make that your brain perform the job that God created it to perform.
You say?
So get ready to be knocked down, slapped, poured water on, kicked, whatever we need to do in sync with the program. That's where we're going.
Yep.
So remain safe, remain sane, check your brain, reset it if you have to, get on your knees, get to work, because if you're done, your mother will make sure that you receive sense. It's just as simple as that.
African mama. Yep.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.
स्वच्छ करते हैं और हमें पढ़ने लिखने की सारी चीजें प्रदान करते हैं। नमस्ते, आर यू लिसनिंग? आपको इसे अवश्य सुनना चाहिए।
हम चाहते हैं कि आप हमें सुनें।
Forests matter to me because they serve as habitats and safe spaces for the animals and plants. In a country like Ghana, which heavily relies on agriculture, they are the means by which my people and I are fed and provided with other basic needs to survive.
Los bosques me importan porque son vida y nos brindan oxígeno. Son parte del ecosistema también. Los bosques son vida y dan vida.
森林对我们很重要，因为森林里的许多植物能用来帮助人类治病。
वनों का मेरे लिए बहुत महत्व है क्योंकि वृक्ष वातावरण को शुद्ध रखते हैं। इनकी हरियाली आंखों को रोशनी एवं सुख प्रदान करती है।
Hello.
Hi. नमस्कार.
您好 Namaste.
Hola.
你们能听见吗？
您必须听到这部分。
You must listen to this. हम चाहते हैं कि आप हमें सुने।
We need you to listen to us.
森林对我们很重要，因为森林里的许多植物能用来帮助人类治病。
Los bosques me importan porque me dan aire limpio.
वनों का मेरे लिए बहुत महत्व है